So you want the donkey ass with the invisible waist? Okay, sister, you need help. I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay, I'm gonna take you from a flat ass to a shelf that you can. Okay, all jokes aside, growing up, I did not have an ass, and that's thanks to my mom. She has an ironing board. It's just some people do. My cousin has a really nice ass, but that's because of her mom. But I was not born with the genes, so don't come at me with the gene stuff, right? So growing up, it wasn't really a priority growing my ass. It's only when my cousin introduced me to ass training, as in like growing the booty, I was like, okay, and it just like a window opens in your head, right? And you're like, oh, I can have a situation. Right, let's go through the 5 things you need to do to get your ass tishable. Right. Before I do want to mention, if you stick to the end, I've got a program for you. It's called Hourglass in an Hour. It's a 3 to 4 day program in the gym that you can do to get your body shape that you want it in the hourglass shape. Let's talk about nutrition and why it's so important, and you shouldn't be afraid of eating. So, muscles need stress and food to grow, right? They need protein, fats, carbs, fuels to grow. So when you're not eating enough, you won't be building muscles. And so if you keep, skipping on carbs, if you keep skipping meals, if you eat like 1 meal a day, if you fasting and like keto diet and all of these things, and you do them all at the same time whilst you're pushing yourself at the gym, you're just not going to see a difference. To have energy in the gym, you need carbs. Healthy fats are needed for muscle movement and inflammation. Protein is needed to build and grow muscles. So you gotta have all those 3 groups in your food. Obviously, you can play around with the protein and the fats and the carbs. Some can be more. It could be 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fat. See how that goes. But don't be eliminating. Don't be afraid of food. It really is going to fuel you. And no, it will not make you fat. Carbs will not make you fat. Overeating will make you fat. Okay? But if you're pushing yourself in the gym, you're going to be using all that food. So don't worry. Okay, let's talk about progressive overload, what the hell it is and why it's so important, right? Right. So progressive overload, all it means is you are putting the body under stress gradually. So week 1, you are doing 3 sets of 10 to 12. Week 2, either you've increased the weight a little bit, or you're doing 12 to 15 reps, or you're doing supersets, or you're doing less rest period, or you're adding in maybe stressing out the body a little bit more. Maybe not every session, maybe not every week, but every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks, so that your muscles, your body does not plateau. Because when it plateaus, your results, you're not going to see any results because you plateaued. You're flatline, like me. Right, let's talk about what you need to do, what your training should look like. So you want to start with dynamic stretching. I'll add a video here. So upper body, lower body dynamic stretching doesn't take long. This reduces the risk of injuries. It lubricates the joints. It tells the body, hey, you've been sat down or you've been walking. We're going to need a little bit more input, a little bit more emphasis, a little bit more energy output. So I need you to be turned on. That's literally what it's doing in the most simplest of terms. So please do not skip your warm-up. After that, dynamic stretching, then you can do your mobility work. So mobility, mobility is stretching with a little bit of resistance. So you could use a band, you could use a dowel, you can use the wall, you can use anything, right? Warm-up sets are 50% of your heavy weight, then 75%, then 90%, and then your 3 working sets. That's quite advanced. If that's too much for you, don't worry about it now if you're just a complete beginner. So your first exercise or first 2 exercises should be compound lifts. Compound lifts mean that it involves multiple joints, multiple muscles, multiple bones, I guess. So squats, hip thrust, deadlift, lat pull down, push-ups. Those are compound Those are compound movements, and they should be done first, right? And then after that, you can maybe do another compound move if you want to. I'd recommend just do 1, and then do 3 or 4 or 5 maximum more accessory work. And that could be, if you're doing legs, it could be, so you've started with squats, which is compound, then you can do lunges, then you can do leg extension, then leg curls, and you can do front foot elevated split squat, right? That's just an example. So always start with compound and then move on to accessory work. If you want, you can add in some core whilst you're resting. So whilst you're resting from your main move, you have about 45 seconds. You can do some grip work, you can do some core work, you can just keep the heart rate elevated. But obviously, if you're going heavy, then you need that break. And then when you've done your weight training, it's it's good quality movement. It's not about spending hours in the gym. When you get advanced and you start enjoying it, then you can spend hours. But when you're a beginner, there's no point faffing around for a couple of hours once, twice a week. Like, you really want to be just 30, 45 minutes, maximum an hour, quality of movement, focus on your form and technique. Form and technique, you will hear this all the time. Focus on learning, on engaging on core, on breathing. Focus on the 5 foundations. I will link a video below to the 5 things you need to master when you're starting weight training. Focus on those, and then eventually you can focus on the progressive overload. So once you're finished with the weight training, then you're going to end with static stretching, or you can do some abs at the end, 4 or 5 minutes of abs, or you can do some cardio for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Cardio's at the end. And then when you finish, static stretching, which means you're holding the stretch for 10 to 30 seconds or even longer. And that's the structure of the workout. If you keep doing the same exercises in the gym for months and months on end with the same weight, nothing is progressing with the reps or the weight. You won't see a difference, unfortunately. It's just not how it works. Maybe when you first start the gym and you do this, you will see a difference, but then eventually you will plateau. And then that might make you frustrated, and you'll be like, what the hell? I mean, I'm putting in all this effort in the gym. My sessions, they kind of feel hard, but I'm not progressing. And that could be one of the reasons why you're not progressing. Okay, the next thing that really helped me grow my ass was actually doing single leg stuff. So I found out I had a glute weakness, or a lazy butt syndrome. I don't know if that's an official thing, but I had that. And so when I did squats and hip thrust, your body compensates. If there's what weakness in one butt cheek, the other butt cheek will work a little bit harder, and the body will do its best to help you, because the body is fantastic at overcompensating. When we have an injury or an imbalance, it will do everything possible to make your life as easy as possible, right? So you won't even know there's an imbalance there. So when I started doing single leg stuff like staggered deadlift and single leg hip thrust and front foot elevated split squat, they really catapulted my results. Within a month, actually no, within 2 weeks, I saw a difference. I was like, okay, this was the missing puzzle piece, and not a lot of people talk about this. And maybe because they don't have a lazy butt syndrome that I did, but if I have it, I'm sure there's other people that have it too. So I'll add in some videos here, just check out what they look like, and start with less weight, focus on your form and technique, and then eventually you get to heavier weights and it feels freaking incredible. So enjoy these videos. Number 5, I want to say be patient. Some people see results quickly, some people don't, but keep consistent and be patient. If I would say you can actually train butt cheeks 2 to 6 times a week. But for me, the optimal times were actually 3 times a week. And those 3 sessions, so 2 of them were like I would push it. Third one would be, it would still be pushing it, but it wouldn't be as heavy. Maybe it's like no weight and it's like loads of reps. But I found 3 sessions to be like the sweet spot. And it would be a mixture of compound movements, heavy movements, single leg stuff, high rep stuff. I used a mixture of things, and I made sure there was always progressive overload. You have to remain consistent in the gym to see results. You have to remain consistent. If you can commit to 3 sessions a week for 12 weeks, you will, I promise you will see a difference. If you don't, come back to me in 12 weeks and I will give you free personal training and free access to my app if you don't see a difference. But if you want to take pictures to prove that you haven't seen a difference, right? You will. It's the quality of your movement. That's too late. It's the quality of your movement. It's your nutrition. It's, tracking your data as well. When you're in the gym, write down what exercise you're doing, what the weight was, what the sets were, where the reps were, your rest period. Track your data, because then a couple of weeks down, you can be like, 2 weeks ago, this weight was really heavy and now it's really light. And you feel stronger, and that propels you even more. And if there's a hint of your brain telling you to like, I can't do this because I'm not seeing results, but then you feel stronger, you're like, actually, I like that. I'm going to take that. Thank you very much. Moving on. Don't worry about getting bulky with weight training, right? For some women, right, we have broad shoulders. I have broad shoulders, but I like training my shoulders. For some women, when they start weight training their shoulders, they get even broader shoulders and they don't like it. That's totally fine. Do shoulders maybe once a week, but do legs 2 to 3 times a week, and you will get the. Let's ask my workout partner if she thinks I'm missing anything. Am I missing anything? The way she just looked at me. I don't think I missed anything. Okay, so that you've made it to the end of this video, link below to the Hourglass in an Hour program, where 3 to 4 gym sessions a week for at least 8 weeks, and you will see a difference. I promise you. Okay. All right. If you have any questions about Hourglass figure, about training, about weight training, as you can see, I'm super weird and quite tired, so I'm gonna go. Let me know in the questions below if you want to see any kind of videos. Let me know. I want to make videos for you. I want to know what are your problems. What do you need help with? What do you want me to talk about? Because I can ramble on for days, right? So let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. In the meantime, eat your cake, do your curls. They are there. I swear they're there. They're just sleeping. And I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, watch this video next.